Hello and welcome to the Flix Forum podcast, where each episode we go back and we look at a Netflix original film in the order of release. Today we have Netflix's 409th film from 2021. It's the romantic comedy called Resort to Love. It's directed by Steven Tsuchida and stars Christina Milian, Pharoah and Sinqua Walls. I am Jesse. I am your host. Thank you for joining me today as we put out an extra special bonus episode over this festive season in December in the lead up to Christmas this year. Hopefully you're enjoying hearing me a couple of extra times a week, and this is a film that you might be interested in. It's again called Resort to Love. So if this is a film you haven't seen yet and you're interested in checking it out, give us a pause and come back a little bit later on, because I'm going to spoil the film as we go throughout this episode. We do start our show with the Fast Flicks, where we do a quick little summary of what the film is all about. So this one is about a down and out singer who ends up on an island as a wedding singer, but is thrust into an awkward situation with her ex. There we go, a bit of a random mash of words from me, but let's look at how this one ended up on Netflix and what some translations for this one is around the world. So in English, it's Resort to Love, because we go to a resort, an island resort, and we look for love. Interesting, easier. In Portuguese, it's called Escaping from Love. In French, it's called Complex Love. In Croatian, it's called Doomed to Love. So these all include the word love. In Finnish, it's called Sudden Departure for One. There we go, a little bit different. I like these to get a funny one every now and then. In Greek, it's called You Can't Escape Love. In Hungarian, A Cure for Love. Italian, it's called Resort to Love. There's no escaping love. In Japanese, this one's a very funny one. It's called A Prescription for Troubled Heartbreak. Oh, how sweet. In Norwegian, it's called Sweet Music and Palm Fronds. No idea. In Polish and Russian, it's called You Can't Run Away from Love. Romanian, it's called Who is Taking Out Who? And in Chinese, it's called The Wedding Cannot Be Celebrated. In Turkish, it's called Love is the Only Remedy. And in Vietnamese, it's called Love Break. There we go. Some interesting titles around the world. The tagline for this one, it's Paradise is About to Get Complicated. There we go. That's pretty straightforward. Nothing too clever there. Just tells you what the film is about. Netflix's logline on the service, it says, reeling from a broken heart and career meltdown, a singer takes a gig at a swanky island resort where her ex-fiancé happens to be getting married. There we go. Adds a little bit of intrigue for this rom-com that we have here. Filming for this film did take place at the Constance Prince Maurice Resort on the island of Mauritius in late 2020. Resort to Love was a milestone project for Mauritius, placing the island firmly on the map as a global film production hub. The production accessed the Mauritius Film Rebate Scheme, which qualified for up to 40% rebate on the expenditures. So there you go, a little bit of a tax write-off for Netflix here. This was produced by Alicia Keys. There we go. I saw her name in the credits. I had to pause and go back a little bit. And obviously, as we're probably going to discuss, she's probably a big help to get some of the rights for some of the music in this Netflix film. This film stars Christina Milian, and she did all of her own singing in the film. And this is the second Netflix movie which stars Christina Milian. Her first was Falling in Love in 2019. And this is a little bit of a weird story. I probably was going to tell this later. Christina Milian, like 2000s, late 90s, everyone knew her music, knew her songs. The fact that she was in that film Falling in Love from 2019, I don't remember at all. We covered that film on this show a couple of years ago. I don't remember her being, and I had to look at some photos from the movie to remember, oh yeah, she was in that film. And the other thing was, obviously I didn't, before starting watching this film, I had no idea it was her throughout the whole film until afterwards as well. So a little bit of a surprise for me. In relation to this film, Christina Milian, she said, love is like this journey. You don't know where it's going to take you, but it makes you feel good. And she said this in relation to the film. I think what attracts me most to rom-coms is kind of the getaway and the fantasy of it. Then, of course, it had music, so anything related to music gets me back into my passion. So obviously, she was very happy to be involved in this film. This did release on Netflix worldwide on the 29th of July 2021. As I said before, it was filmed in Port Louis in Mauritius, and it was put on the 2021 Reframe Stamp Narrative and Animated Feature List too. What are the critics and audiences saying about this film? On Rotten Tomatoes, this sits at 65%. That's on 17 reviews, so it is just fresh. The audience, even a little bit higher, has it at 86%. That's on more than 250 ratings. I would suggest is extremely high. So positives there. IMDb, 7,300 ratings, sits at a 5.7 out of 10, so solid. Letterboxd a little bit lower, sits at a 2.5 on a bit over 8,000 ratings, but it's been logged by 13,000 people. And on Metacritic, 5 critic reviews on that traffic light system of red, yellow, and green. It's in the yellow. It sits at a 46 out of 100 on those 5 critic reviews, and there's no audience consensus. So, what are my early thoughts on this film? It's a rom-com. So, if you've listened to the show before, you would know that I was anything but excited to sit down and watch this. But I really like this. I'm not sure why, but I was just fully into it, and I enjoyed everything about it, which might be a shock. So I'm going to be positive about this film, which is interesting, and I was not expecting that at all. So let's talk about the characters in this film. Erica is Christina Milian's character. She's the lead of the film. She's wanted to be a singer. She's put this above everything else in her life, including romance, which leads to the breakdown of her engagement. She's got this big moment to shine. She's a featured artist on this big artist's record, and this artist has a big meltdown, and her chance at stardom disappears. So she's conned by her friend, I guess, into working as a singer on an island, which is actually a wedding singer, which ties in those ideas of her breakdown and pain and grief. And she has this boss, this French boss on the island who rides her pretty hard. And she's put in the awkward situation of not only trying to hide from her past ex, as well as his ex's new flame, but has to work out if she can sing at their wedding. So a whole bunch of awkward situations that Erica's put into. And her ex that I speak of is Jason. And he seems to have moved on pretty quickly and is soon to be wed. He's only been with this new girl called Beverly for a short time. He's a banker, and he's moved on from Erica and had to move away to pursue his own careers. And I guess he couldn't handle Erica's flakiness with her singing career, and that's probably why he had to move on. Caleb is the third wheel, I guess, that pops up in this film, and he is Jason's brother. And as soon as he meets Erica on this island, he's interested. He's an ex-military man. He's ripped, he's buff, and he's always held the respect of everyone because of his career, I guess. And Jason feels like he's never had this respect from his mother or from people, and that's that little bit of a brother conflict that they have in this film. Amber is Erica's best friend and agent and social media extraordinaire. She's the one that pushes Amber to get out of her funk and find her mojo, and sets up this gig on the tropical island because of her social media connections. Beverly is Jason's fiance. She is welcoming and open towards Erica when they meet on the island because it's one of Jason's friends. And I just think that it was such a nice way to see this female bond and relationship grow in a film, even though they're almost enemies. And I guess this does have to play a part that she doesn't know anything about Erica and Jason's past, but she's accepting Erica as someone and I think it's a female relationship to look up to. This Beverly chick, she's intelligent, she's got a good job, she's into politics, she's a catch almost, and it makes it easy, I guess, to understand how Jason could have moved on so easily from Erica too. So I liked that. I thought that was a good character trait. Finally, the only other character I'll mention is Barrington. Barrington is this Aussie. It was nice to see an Aussie on screen. Very cool, very laid back. He's the jack of all trades at this resort. He is in the band. He's the chemist. He's the driver of the airport shuttle bus. He's the tour guide. He does everything, and he's there to add a little bit of humor throughout too. So that was nice as well. All right, the director, Steven Tsuchida, 43 directing credits. A lot of TV, has directed other popular television shows, mainly like Cobra Kai, On My Block, Grownish, Haters Back Off, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. A lot of work, and I quite enjoyed the work in this film as well. All right, let's talk about some scenes. What worked, what didn't work, stuff that worked. Erica arrives at this resort and she realizes that she's a wedding singer. She didn't want to be a wedding singer, and she is. And when she gets on stage her first night to sing, she cries through her first song. She sings like, "I've had the time of my life," and her boss is like, "Your singing needs to be upbeat and joyful." It was just very funny. There's a guy drowning at the beach, and Erica runs in to save him, and she can't save him. She can't swim. All this guy's worried about his GoPro, and then Caleb comes in to save her, and it's followed by this macho, shirt-off, ex-military introduction. I thought that was cool. And then the reveal that Caleb is Jason's brother. I had a good laugh. Maybe I'm a little bit dumb because I didn't click onto this in our first introduction to Caleb, so I thought that was good. Jason goes on to Erica about making sure his new wife or his new bride, Beverly, doesn't find out that they dated or about their past. And the Aussie Barrington dude. He's just chilling there listening. And after Jason walks off, Erica asks him if he heard that. And he says, yeah, I heard it twice. There's an echo in here. I laughed. I thought that was funny. But this crew that are all together, they're all sitting around, and Erica starts to tell her engagement story, and Jason just like starts coughing to cut her off so Beverly doesn't find out. I thought that was funny. They go on this big hike, this random hike, a couple of days before the wedding, and there's this big bridge across like this huge canyon, and Jason freaks out, gets stuck halfway across the bridge. I found that funny, and it was quite nice, I guess, how Erica was able to calm him down and get him across. Erica's invited to Beverly's bachelorette party, and Erica calls her best friend Amber back in America to complain and says, I need to avoid this. I can't go. It's going to be a disaster. And her Amber's suggestion is like, say you've got diarrhea. Everyone believes people have got diarrhea. Nothing like a poo joke. I thought that was good. Erica and Jason, they catch up and talk about their feelings almost and almost trying to rekindle this possible relationship. And they go for a kiss. And there's this running gag about geckos and Erica not liking geckos, and there's a gecko on his shirt, and she just like pushes him straight into the bushes. I had a good laugh. That was quite funny. Jason and Caleb's mother, she rocks up. She's a little bit of a prude. She's a bit of all over the top. And they're at this dinner, and she goes on this rant about Jason getting married, and she's losing her baby and how emotional she is. And she stands up in the middle of the restaurant ready to sing like Wind Beneath My Wings by Bette Midler. Humorous, very funny. I liked when Caleb hangs out with Erica and decides to sort of stay in her hotel room for the night. And he's like, I'll take the couch. She's like, cool, I'll take the bed. And then he just starts snoring wildly and laughs, saying that he was kidding. It was just a nice, humorous moment. And the reveal from Jason and Caleb's mum that Erica is Jason's ex, obviously this is going to cause friction. And then Beverly's friend just starts chasing Erica, calling her a lying bitch. And then Erica gets into this van with the Aussie guy driving, and Beverly's in the back, and more awkwardness. And then there's some jokes of Beverly wanting her to be thrown out, and she'll pay extra money to throw her out. But then there's some nice tender moments between them, and Erica convinces her that Jason and her should be together. That was quite nice. And they make up, and then Erica gets out of the car, and then the friend just comes running past and tackles her. A nice humorous moment to finish. There was nothing in this that I didn't really like, which is a surprise. So I don't know. I must have been in a really good mood while watching this film. What's some themes? What's some ideas that the film's trying to talk about? So there's obviously that idea of escaping reality that is in this film, leaving America and trying something different, pushing yourself too, because life is constantly changing and evolving, and you need to be able to free yourself and be open to life's surprises and love as well, and move forward in life. And friendship plays a big part in this film. I mentioned before, I really liked that friendship that's formed between Beverly and Erica, and obviously the importance of family and brothers and marriage and what that means, but still holding on to your dreams too. And I'm tying back a little bit to the idea of relationships, but the importance of truth in relationships and friendships too, and honesty and being upfront so secrets aren't revealed or there aren't secrets hanging over the back of people. What else did I take away from this film? The music was great. There's songs, I Had the Time of My Life, I Will Survive. There's a Nicki Minaj super bass song. And obviously, I said this before, but the importance of Alicia Keys being the producer, and one of her songs, No One, plays a big part in this film as well. And as I said before too, like Christina Milian, until I watched it, I had no idea it was her, and I was shocked from AM to PM. I remember that song. Anyway, what else? Let's finish with some questions and some ponderings and some thoughts and some ideas. And this when the gecko, I mentioned before when I liked the gecko in the film, we had another film on Netflix that we've covered. I think it was a Christmas film rom-com where the same thing happened to the protagonist. There was this little gecko that kept freaking her out. I have a feeling it might have been a film called Christmas Operation Drop or something like that. It just felt weird that we've got two Netflix films where tropical island rom-coms and geckos play a role. If anyone remembers what the film was, let me know in the show notes. I'd love to be reminded of what the film was. I just don't have the time to go back through 400 plus episodes and work out what it was. Plot-wise, the idea, how can you date someone for 4 years and have never met their brother? Erica, the idea that she'd been with Jason that long and had never met his brother. I think the easy way out, that question I saw lots online, and I think the easy way is out that he was in the military. It's super obvious, isn't it? That's why you wouldn't have met him. And finally, like Jason walks in on Caleb, his brother, staying in Erica's room, and then he's a bit angry because his ex is with his brother, and he says, "What is this, Netflix and chill?" And they're like, "No, just Netflix, no chill." I get it's a Netflix film, so I don't know, maybe it felt a little bit lame putting that in this film, but other than that, let's wrap this up. We give the film a rating out of 5. For me, it's nothing new. I get that. Plot-wise, it's nothing new. It's all the same stereotypes, all that sort of stuff. Yes, it can be corny, but I found it funny. And me reading those scenes, if you haven't seen the film, you're probably like, what on earth is he talking about? But I found it humorous. I found it funny. I laughed out loud a couple of times. It was enjoyable. It was a fun watch. I'm giving this a 3 out of 5. Solid score from me for a rom-com. We're on socials. We have X, formerly known as Twitter, as well as Facebook and Instagram. Give us a follow. Give us a like if you can. The question that I wanted to put out in relation to this film is Mauritius as a destination. Are you interested in traveling there? I mean, this film makes the island look so beautiful. I don't know. I'd never really thought about it, but yeah, I wouldn't, if the beaches and the resorts and stuff like that, this film did a really good job, I guess, of highlighting Mauritius as a tourist destination. So positives from me. Other than that, we have another episode coming out very soon along this Christmas rant of films. We have a international film from 2021. It's the French action comedy called The Last Mercenary. This one's directed by David Charon and stars Jean-Claude Van Damme, Albin Ivanov, Asa Silla, and Samir Dakaza. JCVD. Wow. Okay, cool. Haven't heard about this one. No idea. I'm excited. I hope you are too. If you're keen on checking out, give it a watch in the next few days because I'll be out with an episode very soon. Other than that, thanks for hanging out today. We'll see you soon.